You know, there's something special about Midnight Club Street Racing on PS2. It just hits different, and it's something that modern racing games just cannot replicate. So let me introduce you guys to Midnight Club Street Racing on the PS2. Now, just for some context here, this is my first ever PS2 game that I ever played way back in the day when I got my PS2 on Christmas. And this is an amazing game. And it might be a hot take to say that this might be my favorite Midnight Club game of the series. Just a phenomenal game in general, obviously street racing. So what is Midnight Club Street Racing on PS2 even about? Well, you're this unknown character, I don't even think you have a name, but you're trying to race these other people in these two open world environments, go up the ranks, just try to become the best racer you can be. Oh, my voice cracked. Can be. I'm going to leave that in, actually. Can be. So the reason I want to talk about this game today is because of how iconic it is for me personally and how much this game means to me personally. Because this was my first ever PS2 game that I ever played in my entire life. No joke. I distinctly remember on Christmas when we first got the PS2, this is the first game that I ever put in the system and played myself. And I know there's a lot of people that diss on this game and have some bad, opinions and stuff. And sure, there's bad things about this game, but I think the good things outweigh the bad by an infinite amount. This game is phenomenal, and man, the game's real good when you start. The game's real good when you stutter on your words a lot. I don't do a lot of scripts, man. I usually do these videos like I have like a little template and I just like go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm a big stutterer. Anyways, let's dive into this game. First of all, here's the back. You can go ahead and read that if you'd like. Really cool description on the back, I must say. But what makes this game special to me? Now, it has to be the atmosphere and the vibe of the overall game and the two open world areas you can kind of explore. New York and London are the two areas in this game. New York is by far my favorite. A lot of fun stuff in there, but also London has a lot of really cool things as well. But the atmosphere and vibe of this game is what carries it for me, what makes it feel so special for me personally. And not even just those two things, but the banging soundtrack. Like, dude, this techno, like, house soundtrack of this game is phenomenal. One of the best soundtracks in all of gaming. Shout out Surgeon for the banging soundtrack for a lot of the songs. It actually goes hard. And I have a few of the songs on my Spotify playlist. They're that good. And for the actual gameplay, the gameplay is pretty good as well. I'm not even gonna lie, the racing is fun. A lot of the events are really fun, but there's the sprint races that you go from one place to another. They have these certain races in this game where the checkpoints are all random and you have to figure out the fastest possible route to go. I'm not really a big fan of those races. They're just kind of like you have to like trial and error for those. Wasn't really a huge fan of those. But the checkpoint races, the normal sprints, the circuit races, the ones where like you kind of have an idea of where you're going, it's not kind of random, those are always phenomenal. You can't complain about those. Always a real good time, especially with the banging soundtrack playing, police chasing you. Now, you don't really encounter police a lot in this game, but when you do, it's always a good time. The police are pretty fun to outmaneuver and stuff, and it really brings up the intensity of the gameplay when the cops show up. Now, this game is called Midnight Club, and it is set during the nighttime for the whole entire time. So it's really cool to me because in this game, there is a career mode. There's a lot of cool modes, capture the flag, 2-player races, split screen. And then there's just cruise where you can go into the two worlds, or maps, I should say, and just kind of explore, cruise around. Those are really fun. I usually just do cruise. Sometimes I do the races and stuff, but I haven't really played the campaign for a while. I just like to cruise. That's what I used to always do. It was always just really fun to me. But this game is set during the nighttime, and especially when you go into the cruise mode, you can change the atmosphere of the maps. You can change night, evening, dusk, dawn. You can make it cloudy, rainy, clear outside. You can adjust how much traffic you want, how many pedestrians you want, and yes, you can run over the pedestrians in this game. And this is the only Midnight Club game where you can straight up run over pedestrians and they go flying and they scream in pain and stuff. And that's one of my favorite things. I used to do that a lot as a kid, is just run the people over. It was actually a pretty good time because their ragdoll effects are kind of funny. And comparing Midnight Club to other racing games like Need for Speed and like Burnout and stuff, there's a completely different vibe to this game. It's one of my favorites. I prefer Midnight Club over Need for Speed over any racing game. Midnight Club has been my most favorite racing game series of all time. I love this one. I had a good time with 2. I love 3. Love that one. And then Midnight Club Los Angeles is also a banging game. Played that one a lot back in the day. So if you're into like the mainly nighttime racing, you know, house techno, real good atmosphere vibes, then you're gonna love the Midnight Club series in my opinion. And Los Angeles kind of took away the whole only nighttime thing, bringing in a day cycle, which was cool to see, you know, but I prefer the nighttime racing. Also the cover art, one of my favorite cover arts of all time. This is on top tier with like Minority Report, Spider-Man on PS1. One of the best cover arts of all time, and this was an actual picture they took. I'm pretty sure this was like a real picture they took for the cover art. Banging, looks beautiful. The vibrant colors, the glare of like the wet streets and the cops and like, oh my, the city, you know, buildings. Man, one of the best cover arts of all time. Now talking about the actual gameplay, how do these cars control? How is the environment and stuff? So the cars can either control pretty decent or like pretty bad. It depends on what kind of handling you have. If your car has better handling, and if you just have a car that has decent handling, like yo, the cars are good to drive, you know, pretty simple, pretty easy. But if you have a car that has really bad handling, really big top speed and acceleration, it can be very hard to control these fucking cars. The drifting in this game is a little clunky. You know, you can't really, you know, expect much from the first entry of the series. But overall, if you have a good handling car, it's also really nice. And there is a huge selection of cars, which I love. A lot of variety. You can even do trucks and stuff. It's kind of cool. Police cars. There's a taxi that has like a plow on it that I used to use all the time, just plow through people and stuff. That was always really fun. And I think what's super unique about this game is the 2 areas you can go into, New York and London. Man, these areas, the designs of these are phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Let me just start off with New York. It's in New York. All of the ads playing everywhere. It's so vibrant, so lively. All the pedestrians, the traffic. There's a lot of hidden areas. You can jump off over the water into like a boat. That's really cool. You can go on rooftops. That is really cool. I loved going on the rooftops as a kid. There's a lot of secret jumps and stuff. And like some like parks, some grassy areas, the highway around the whole map. Bro, New York is crazy. And such a good designed map in my opinion. Now for London, it's my least favorite of the 2, but it's still also really cool. It has like such a different vibe to New York, which is actually a pretty good little switch up here. And obviously you can go on rooftops. There's more secret hidden jumps and stuff. And the main highlight of London is the huge jump that you can do that goes over the lake or the river or whatever that is. And me and my buddy Christopher used to play split screen on this game all the time and try to see who can go farther. And we would do that over and over and over. And man, that was such good memories. And from that jump, you can land on rooftops and stuff if you hit it right. And man, just a great time in general. And I also forgot to mention, in the career mode, there are secret cars you can find around the maps that are only unlockable by finding the secret areas in the maps. So that's another really cool thing. But dude, so many great memories with this game. A lot of frustrating memories with a few of the races in the game. I'd never beaten this game. I've beaten the New York area, but I've never beaten the London area completely. But man, so many hours staying up, grinding out this game. I remember back in the old days when sound like I'm fucking old. I mean, I am kind of old, I got a kid. I don't know if you can hear, she's over there crying and stuff, but my daughter was just born recently, so it's the first video I'm making since that happened. So, is this game worth coming back to? Is the question you're probably asking. Does this game hold up today? Now, the clunky controls is definitely a kind of a learning curve. You can get used to it, you know, once you learn how the car operates and stuff, whatever certain car you're using, and then you can get used to it. But for starters, like, the controls are kind of bad in this game, I must say. The handling, the destructible environments you can run into will like sometimes spin you out and throw you off track, and you're just done. The race is over. But I think it does hold up. I think it does. I think it's still really cool to come back to, in my opinion, because I used to play this all the time. Not so much anymore because I have so many more games to play. But I think if you are into racing games and you like the Midnight Club series and you like nighttime racing, street racing, and you like house techno music and like just amazingly designed levels and stuff, man, you're gonna love this. I think you'll have a good time with this game. So I would definitely recommend this to anyone. If you've never played this game, definitely pick it up for the collection. I don't even think it's that expensive of a game, honestly. Midnight Club may not be a perfect game, but to me, it's very special to me. I want to thank you guys for watching this vid. I want to shout out the channel members, a part of BR80 crew. Thank you guys for the support. Really, it means a lot to me. I'm glad you guys enjoy the content. I'd love to shout out as well Kansas Cowboy Jr., a part of BR80 VIPs. Once again, my boy, I really appreciate you and all the support you do for the channel. It really goes a long way. If you guys are interested in becoming a channel member, the links are in the description. Go ahead and check those out if you are interested. I want to thank you for watching this video. We'll catch you on next Thursday, guys. If you like retro gaming, hit that subscribe. We'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.